Dame Dash is now accusing DJ Envy of being a government informant, and he even posted a paperwork that he says proves DJ Envy is an informant.
But it did break down that you are on that RICO, and that, in fact, if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are, in fact, a rat.
I lost $1 million.
And you went in because of DJ Envy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, you know, I'd known Envy for years.
My attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorneys. Why don't light-skinned people like to listen? Like, if your attorney told you don't say nothing, why are you talking?
Listen, so Caesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community.
Not DJ Envy getting caught up in informant talk. Dame Dash dropped some serious claims saying Envy somehow slid past prison time in that real estate mess like nothing ever happened.
Not to say that even Caesar was doing anything right or wrong, because I honestly don't know. That's between them and whatever happened. But did I say, here, take this money and give it to this person or do this with this money? I never did.
And out of nowhere, 50 Cent steps in, kind of backing Dame's side, which is shocking because 50 and Dame have been beefing heavy ever since Dame threw shade at Cameron. But let's focus on Envy for a second. Did he really talk to the feds? If he's out here cooperating, what does that say about the Breakfast Club's whole image? Envy tried to play innocent like, not to say that even Caesar was doing anything right or wrong.
You acting like a girl.
You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem auntie.
I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't.
And then we
and you won't do shit.
Dame, this is with
That's
the Chatty
not
Patty,
right.
so just
Now,
so
let's
you
not
know,
get
because I knew you was going to say
Nah,
that.
I've seen you run.
Yes.
I've seen you. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying no. Then your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that. I would have you up. But I'm not going to do that. Nah, I wouldn't have got beat up. But I wouldn't have got beat up. Let's end this. So let me say one more thing before I leave.
I had so many questions.
All right. Oh, you're right.
How you want to leave? You can't get in your emotions and want to leave, Dame.
No, what I'm saying is when you interrupt me and you say certain things, where I'm from, the masculine man will.
Yeah.
But because wait, let me finish. No, I didn't. I said
not gonna happen.
I didn't say that. I said I could, and you wouldn't do anything.
And we gonna fight.
I didn't see that on tape. You ran.
Yeah, because it was 4 guys, but that's cool.
Wait. Ask what happened when 30 guys jumped me. I went to jail. The last time I was behind, it was $1 million. I paid it. That sounds broke to you? If all my children, and I pay their colleges up front, they don't have debt, meaning they don't have to go on, that sounds broke to you? Every one of my baby mothers has 2 or 3 houses. That sounds broke to you? It's not about me. If you Google her family, or certain people I know, I'll Google them, they have no money. I Google the family office, $10 billion. Rich people don't put anything in their name. But you don't know that. You don't know that. And I feel sorry for you because you don't get to see the daylight. You guys, you don't. You missed your whole life.
We don't have anything on our name.
So then I
have a question about the book deal with Simon & Schuster.
Let me finish. Yeah, go ahead.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What made you sign a book deal with Simon & Schuster as opposed to publishing independently?
Because I honestly don't know. That's between them and whatever happened. But did I say here, take this money and give it to this person or do this with this money? I never did. That's his story, but Dame wasn't letting up. The whole blow-up actually started when Dame pulled up to the Breakfast Club last month. The vibe was already tense, and once Charlemagne and Envy started pressing him about his bankruptcy and the rumors that he was broke, things went left real fast. Dame snapped, got heated, and started throwing wild insults, calling Charlemagne names and even comparing their houses like it was some kind of flex-off. You acting like a girl. You move like an old auntie. You an old Harlem monster. I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't, and you won't do shit, he said, straight up challenging them on air. It got messy fast. Both sides were throwing verbal jabs, and the energy felt like it could explode any second. Dame started going off about respect, saying if this was the street, things would have gone down differently. We were on the street right now, and you were talking like that, I would have you up. But I'm not going to do that, he said. He kept insisting he wouldn't have been touched, and the back and forth just spiraled. Envy pushed back, reminding him of a moment on tape, and Dame admitted he backed off because there were 4 guys. But then he flipped it into a brag about handling bigger situations, talking about how he dropped $1 million to deal with a past fight that landed him in jail. He listed off everything he's done for his kids and their future, making it clear he doesn't see himself as broke at all. That sounds broke to you? He barked. Dame bragged about paying for his kids' colleges up front, about all his baby mothers having multiple houses, and how rich families keep their assets out of their own names. He even threw in a $10 billion family office reference just to show he's moving on a different level. It was like he was trying to prove his wealth right there in the studio. Then the topic switched. They asked him about his book deal with Simon & Schuster, and he explained why he chose to sign with them instead of publishing independently. But Dame couldn't resist flexing again. He even dared Envy and Charlemagne to post their views to prove they're not living like him. Envy actually posted his trying to clap back, but honestly, the whole thing looked embarrassing for both sides. Watching grown men argue over houses and views on air was wild, but then things took a serious turn. During that same heated episode, Dame threw a bomb. He claimed Envy was under investigation for RICO charges tied to his business partner, Cesar Pina. That's when Envy tried to fight back, saying he had paperwork on him to prove his innocence. But before he could pull it out, Charlemagne cut him off, stopping him from flashing whatever proof he claimed to have. The tension only got thicker. Charlemagne called Dame out, saying, "The problem, Dame, I have with you is you're a businessman and an entrepreneur. When people have a question to you, you don't want to answer the question." Dame shot back instantly, accusing Envy of being a chatty patty. The studio turned into a verbal chess match, interrupting, boundary setting, calling each other out. It was chaos. Dame kept doubling down, saying what he's been seeing online points to a RICO investigation, claiming people around Envy were getting charged. Then he dropped the real dagger. "Bottom line is I already know you're gonna fold if they come for you. You tell it. We already know that the FBI show that Envy tried to fire back that nothing Dame said was factual, but Dame stood firm, saying everything he claims is on tape. It turned into a shouting match about facts and paperwork, with both trying to one-up each other. And then it got suspicious. How is it that Envy just so happened to have RICO paperwork on him the exact second Dame called him out? That timing raised eyebrows. Dame wasn't backing off either. He went online and doubled down. He tagged iHeartRadio and Power 105 on Instagram and basically asked them straight up, "Do y'all realize your own host is a Fed informant? That's a bold move." He claims people sent him info backing up the RICO talk. They did research and I can't articulate exactly what was said, but it wasn't said. She sent me a message, so I'll play it. But it did break down that you are on that RICO and that in fact if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are in fact a rat. And I knew that you would fold anyway, but allegedly. But this is what the paperwork and I'll make. I'm going to play it so y'all can hear it. Dame explained. And he wasn't exaggerating. He pointed everyone to the Department of Justice website, saying all you have to do is type in Cesar H. Pena. Right there are two official DOJ links. One shows a New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with multi-million-dollar investment fraud, laundering drug proceeds, and bribing a politician.
The problem, Dame, I have with you is you're a businessman and an entrepreneur.
I don't care what your problem
is. When people have a question to you, you don't want to ask the question. And exactly what you do to people.
I did answer.
You are a chatty patty. Right?
No, I'm not. Okay, let's do this. Can I talk? Let me answer that. Can I answer that? Can I answer that?
No, you can't come speaking. Like we just said, we're gonna set boundaries. I respected you. Respect me.
This is what Dame wanted, by the way. He wanted to come in here and call this.
He said boundaries. He said some chatty patty stuff that's absolutely not true.
So let's address it. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Let's pause. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
So a lot of the things you say on here are not true. A lot. And I'm saying what I'm seeing in the algorithm is that you're being investigated for RICO and that there were people around you that are getting charged. Let me ask you a question. Of course, I don't expect you. Bottom line is, I already know you're going to fold if they come for you. You tell them. We already know that.
The SEC,
anyway,
FBI,
do not show that. Are you crazy?
But sometimes
he walking with the letter.
Sometimes let Dame make you.
But this is the thing. No, hold on. You have to prove facts because he can't prove facts.
I can't?
No.
Everything I say, I be having on tape.
It's not factual.
What's not factual that I said?
Nothing that you said is factual.
So I'm not the chairman of Revolt?
I don't know. I haven't seen the Dateline yet.
Deadline.
You know what happens when feminine people get nervous and upset? Their voice starts cracking, their lips start shaking.
That's what you be doing when you be on Art of Dialogue.
Or you stand up and walk away like you're going to walk out.
Scroll down and boom, individual 1 pops up. It describes PA's business partner as a well-known disc jockey and radio personality who resided in New Jersey. Then it says this: Individual One ran real estate seminars with Pena around the country. Anyone who knows the scene can tell who that's pointing to. Individual One is clearly Envy. The description lines up too perfectly. A famous DJ based in Jersey tied to real estate seminars with Caesar. Dame presented this like it was his smoking gun. So here's what really went down between Envy and Caesar. The streets have been buzzing about whether Envy actually cooperated with the feds to save himself, and once you hear the full story, you'll see why people are side-eyeing him hard. Back in July 2025, Caesar Pena, known online as Flipping NJ, got slapped with a federal indictment. The charges were serious: wire fraud, money laundering, and straight-up bribery. According to the feds, Caesar was running a slick multi-million-dollar operation.
And, they did research. And I can't articulate exactly what was said, but it wasn't said. She sent me a message, so I'll play it. But it did break down that you are on that RICO, and that, in fact, if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are, in fact, a rat. And I knew that you would fold anyway, but allegedly. But this is what the paperwork, and I'm going to play it so y'all can hear it.
Anybody can go online and type in Caesar H. Pena. When they do, they'll see links from the Department of Justice.gov. They can simply open up the two links that you see here. The first one shows the New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with committing multi-million-dollar investment fraud scheme, laundering drug proceeds, and bribing a New Jersey politician. If you simply scroll down, you will see the Individual One. Individual One is clearly described as Pena's business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality who resided in New Jersey. You go further down, as you can see through this video, it gives more description on Pena and his business partner. Individual One operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country with Pena. He's a co-conspirator. This Individual One, who is a well-known radio personality, disc jockey in New Jersey. That only describes one person who we all...
He was allegedly pulling in investors with promises of flipping residential properties, taking their millions, then using that cash in a Ponzi-style hustle. Prosecutors say he even bribed a New Jersey official to keep everything moving smoothly.
That would be renovated and flipped for more money. The promise to return up to 30%. In some cases, Caesar didn't even own the properties. This couple took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home, promised that 30% return within 4 months. Then they say nothing.
The indictment lays it out clearly. Caesar was bringing in dozens of investors, promising them big returns. But instead of sharing profits like he claimed, he was allegedly pocketing chunks for himself while using new investors' money to pay off older ones. Classic Ponzi game. And here's where envy comes in. The indictment specifically mentions that Caesar teamed up with a celebrity disc jockey and radio personality to host real estate seminars across the country.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Caesar. I lost a total of $64,000.
After receiving 2 bounced checks, Rio says he got a visit from Caesar carrying this box of jewelry.
He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back.
Through those seminars and their heavy marketing push, Caesar built up a huge online following. And while Caesar is the one facing charges, Envy hasn't been charged with any crimes. He maintains that he had no idea what Caesar was doing behind the scenes. But that's not the end of it. Multiple investors filed civil lawsuits against both Caesar and Envy, accusing them of misrepresenting investments and causing massive financial losses. And most of these investors made it clear they only trusted Caesar because DJ Envy's name was attached.
Calls me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's with the government and he could get the buildings and there's a list, it'd be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying, because I was walking my dog in the backyard, so I want to stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy.
According to NBC reports, Caesar was out here as far back as 2017 promising wild returns. We're talking 20% to 45% in just 5 months. He claimed he was flipping houses across Jersey like it was nothing, but instead of putting investors' money into properties, he was allegedly redirecting big portions for himself, then recycling new money to pay off old promises. In some cases, he even offered the same property to multiple investors at once. NBC's investigation put a spotlight on some of the victims, and a lot of them said straight up, if Envy hadn't co-signed Caesar, they never would have invested. One investor, Anthony Barron, told NBC he met Caesar through Envy himself. Envy was right there during a property tour in Jersey, making everything look legit. Barron ended up dropping a jaw-dropping $500,000 into one apartment project and then another $300,000 later. He still says Envy should be held just as accountable as Caesar for what went down.
I said I called 3 people. I called Clout, I called Fabulous, I called Joe Budden, right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
There was another couple who took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home. Caesar allegedly promised them a 30% return in just 4 months, but once they handed over the money, silence. No return, no explanation. And the wild part, Caesar was even accused of trying to pay another investor, Augie Rios, with jewelry instead of actual money. Rios runs a custom auto wrap shop in New York and had worked on Envy's cars for years.
This was a 3-family, 2-bedroom. We could only bring $800 rent roll each floor, which is not that much money. If we decided to extend it, if you look back there, you see we extended it. Now with the extension, we decided to make it from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So now from 800, it goes to 1,800 a month. 18. We extended it so much, we have so much that we can extend it, we can actually put 2 studios in the back. So now the 2 studios will bring, you figure 18 is 2.
He said Envy personally introduced him to Caesar and vouched for his investment company. If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Caesar. I lost a total of $64,000, Rios said. After getting 2 bounce checks, Rios said Caesar showed up with a jewelry box like it was some kind of payout. He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back. Once NBC ran their expose, more alleged victims came out with their stories. And the pattern was the same. They trusted Caesar because DJ Envy was front and center. Even people in the industry started calling it out. Joe Budden revealed that Envy once tried to pull him into the whole real estate game. Joe said, calls me as someone that he is not speaking to.
So Caesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing in generational wealth. Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true. I would never.
We have not spoken about anything, and he calls me and starts talking about some real estate blank. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me telling me that your man's with the government and he could get the buildings and there's a list and it'll be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying because I was walking my dog in the backyard or something. I want to stop listening at this point, but that just sounded fishy. Even Envy himself admitted that Joe warned him years ago. In an old interview, Envy said, listen, I called 3 people. I called Clue, I called Fabulous, I called Joe Budden, right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that you should invest a little bit of money in. Try it out and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail. And Envy wasn't just talking about it behind the scenes either. He was pushing Caesar's business on the Breakfast Club itself. He brought Caesar on air to talk up the investment schemes. There's even footage of Envy personally walking through properties with potential investors, hyping up the deals like they were guaranteed wins. This was a 3-family, 2-bedroom. We could only bring $800 rent roll each floor, which is not that much money. If we decided to extend it, if you walk back there, you see we extended it. Now, with the extension, we decided to make it from a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom. So now from $800, it goes to $1,800 a month. We can actually put 2 studios in the back, Envy explained to investors in one clip, sounding like a seasoned property developer. But when Caesar got arrested, Envy went on The Breakfast Club and repeated his usual defense. He was only doing seminars to uplift the community and teach generational wealth. He insisted he didn't know about any scams, saying, "So Caesar and myself did seminars." Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing in generational wealth. A Caesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But for anybody to say I was involved, that's totally not true. I would never. A lot of people aren't buying it though, because how can a scam this big run for years, with Envy publicly attached to it, and he somehow knew nothing? Even if he wasn't running the scam himself, he still put his face and reputation on it. And even after multiple warnings, he never publicly told people to stay away. Some believe he might have been investigated and the feds just didn't find enough evidence to indict him. But Dame Dash doesn't see it that way. He's convinced Envy avoided charges by cooperating with the feds against Caesar. Word on the street is that this is exactly why 50 Cent pulled out of a real estate reality show he had planned with Envy. Once Caesar got arrested and Dame started talking about Envy being a snitch, 50 didn't want any part of it anymore. Now, to be fair, there's no public paperwork proving Envy acted as a cooperating witness in Caesar's case. Dame hasn't shown official documents and nothing has been confirmed legally. But some fans online aren't letting it slide. One fan wrote, "Dame has never stolen from his community. Breakfast Club has cost the African-American community at least $50 million due to the scammers they bring on. Umar Johnson is still renting rooms, cars, eating out, and jet-setting on other people's money." Another person added, "Envy is lying. He knew all along that this was a scheme. He is denying his involvement due to the fact that Penna was proven guilty and is serving time in prison." So the question still lingers. Was Envy truly unaware, or did he flip to protect himself?